Molweni Betuna, igama lam ngo-Asana Koboka, a mother of two and also a mother of a deaf child. Today I'll be going back to the SARS tax benefit for people with impairments or disabilities. I see there's a lot of people who are not aware that you can actually claim back for your expenses from SARS. And yeah, I see a lot of people still need to understand that process, and so I'll be sharing a little bit of what you can claim for. I will also attach a link where people can actually go to and check the rest of the expenses that one can claim for. And yeah, guys, please claim for your expenses, out of pocket expenses. I did claim for my son's expenses and they came in very handy. I was able to catch up on things that I had not been able to pay because I had to take care of my son's medical bills. So it does help a lot. Yeah, because you get a lot of things that you need to pay out of your pockets, which you had not planned for. So when you finally get a chance to claim back, do claim back. And yeah, it gets paid into your bank, and you can just decide how you work around that. But most importantly, you need to record your expenses. You would need, I'm currently keeping a file because this year I only claimed for school fees and transport, but next year I'm claiming for a lot. I am keeping a file now, a digital one, and also a physical file of all the expenses that I've incurred during this year, this tax year, for my child's impairment. I have recently bought a hairband which will assist with his speech processor to stick on and not fall off. That is something I'm going to claim for next year. I have kept the proof of payment as well as the receipt from the supplier. I will also be buying an ear mold. I will claim for that. And I've also have been paying for a lot of his specialist visits, because after the cochlear implant was done, the surgery, we had to wait for a speech processor. After it arrived, the speech processor needs to be programmed, and every time we go to the doctor, we need to pay that out of pocket because our medical aid savings are done. So I'll be claiming for that as well. And I've just seen now, every time you are going, when you're actually going to the doctor, you can claim for those kilometers as well, because it is something aligned with his disability. So everything that you claim for needs to align with the disability. Yes. Okay. There is a list that SARS has. This list outlines all the claims that one can claim for, be it you as a person with the impairment or the person taking care of you. So from my end, I am claiming for everything concerning my child's impairment because I'm the one taking care of him. This list, you can find it on SARS website. You can just Google. That's what I did. I got this information from my sister. She just sent me a screenshot that, did you know that you can claim from SARS for your son's disability? I was like, no, I don't know. And then that post that didn't have much information. It had that only. And then I actually Googled. I said SARS disability benefit. And then I got all the links under that with updated information, the forms that I needed the doctors to sign, The very first thing that you need when you want to claim for that, you need your treating doctor to sign to confirm your disability, and they need to confirm whether the disability is permanent or it is temporal. For permanent disability, the doctor only signs once, and that form is valid for 10 years. So we signed this year. We only gonna have a renewal after 10 years. But if the disability is the other word, if the disability is temporal, then it only lasts for 1 year. So if you are disabled for that year and nothing has changed, you still cannot perform your test according to the best of your ability, then you are still classified as disabled or a person with impairment. Then you need your treating doctor to confirm that. Please, guys, speak to the practitioners around to sign that document for you. It is a disability confirmation form. You can get it online. I got it online, and then I signed my part, and then I got my treating practitioner. Likely also she knew about it. We had spoken about it beforehand, and I printed it from my end. I signed everything all the information that was needed from my side. I signed, and then I gave it to her, and then she signed it for me, and then she forwarded to me. That form, I used it as a supporting document to SARS when I was claiming for, the disability claims from SARS. Right. This form, it is written disability expenditure prescribed by the commissioner. It has a lot of sections from section A to section I. It outlines everything that you need to know about claiming for disabilities from SARS. First, section A, it is all about the definitions. What do they mean when they say disability? Meaning, what does SARS recognize disability as? What is a school? What is all the words, all the keywords that are outlined on that document? They've given their description on the first section, which is section A. And then, no, I'm kidding. Okay, section A is the one where now they state the first category of things that you can claim for, which is the nature of expenses. The section A is of the personal care attendant, which is the person who is taking care of the person with impairment. It can be an interpreter in my case, or it can be someone who is employed to assist a person with who is on a wheelchair, who is wheelchair bound. If that person needs to go all around, and there's a person employed solely for that person, then the expenses towards that care attendant can be claimed for from SARS, but you need proof and everything. So you'd need a contract basically or something to prove that you have employed this person for these services, and the services are solely for the person with the impairment. A person who is a housekeeper, you cannot claim for that. That person needs to service the person with the impairment only. And yeah, that is that from section A. But there's a long list. You can get more of it from the form. I'm just touching points on just to give you an overview of what is there and what can you claim for. If you need more information, please go to SARS website. And also note, I am not a tax practitioner. I solely came through this information because I am a parent with a deaf child. So I am taking care of a person with impairment, and this is based on my experience and my research. So more information, call SARS, reach out to a tax practitioner, but everything is also online. It is also online. I didn't really make use of SARS the most. I acquired all this information through online, and as I stated before, it first started with my sister telling me that I can claim for this, where she got the information from her child's school. All right, section B talks about travel costs and transportation costs. These are the transportation costs that I touched on earlier in the video when I said, when I am taking my child to see his specialist, those costs I can claim for. I did not claim for them this year, but I'm going to claim for them next year because I didn't know a lot about that. I only claimed from the transportation cost from home to school. But you can also claim for that, and you can also claim for transportation cost when you are going to buy a certain thing that aligns with the child's impairment, or with the person's impairment, or with your own impairment. If you are a person with impairment, you can claim for those travel costs, and also you can claim for the travel cost of the care attendant when you guys are traveling together. You can claim for the traveling cost of that person. But if the person is not, the care attendant is not a person who is a living in, but they come to the house where they are employed, the place of employment every day, you cannot claim for that because it's just traveling from home to work. It is what everyone does in South Africa. So that you cannot claim for. But if you guys are traveling together for a course, you can claim for that. Those costs are aligned with the person being there with you as a person with impairment. Then you can claim for that. But if they are traveling to work, no, can't claim for that. And then on section C, you can also claim for insurance, maintenance, repairs, and supplies. Yeah, I think that explains itself. If you need to repair, my child has a cochlear implant, and I have taken out a insurance for that because it's quite expensive. It's an expensive device, and I will not be able to pay it out of my own pocket. So I have taken out insurance on that, and also for maintenance of that. If it were to break or whatever, I would need to maintenance and repairs. I would need to pay for that and claim for that. And supplies, I have also just said I bought a headband to ensure that it sticks on and doesn't fall over and scratches and breaks. To prevent that, I bought a band. So those ones are part of supplies. I'll claim for that as well. And then the part D is prosthetics. For custom made limbs, you can claim for that. For people who have been amputated and they got artificial legs and all that sort of stuff, they can claim for that as well. And then section E explains aids and other devices. This would be the softwares that you need to buy to upgrade your systems to aid the person with an impairment, and also applications. If you've bought an app to ensure that you're, like for my child, if I bought an app with real-time captioning, let's say, because he can't hear, can't really speak well, So if you were to write things and then the device would say out loud whatever he has written so that people can understand him, then that would be an app that I've bought. I would claim for that. And also for helmets for people with epilepsy to prevent head injuries. If you've got that, if you paid for the helmet to prevent the head injury for people with epilepsy, you can claim for that as well. And I've just found out you can also claim for spectacles, prescription spectacles. You can claim for that if your medical aid has not paid for that. If you paid out of your own pocket, you can claim for that. Yeah. And then, yeah, there's a lot on that list. You can check it out on SARS website. They've got everything. And also services like intervention services. I think this one ties up with the personal care attendant as well. You can claim for that. Also, if I were to hire a tutor for my son to supplement the school that he goes to, that would count as services to aid him to excel in his school work. So I'll claim for that as well. And then there's containance products. That would be pads, linen protectors, diapers, or adult nappies. You can claim for that as well because they are aiding you with a certain disability. And also there is section I, which speaks about alteration and modifications. These are alterations that you may do at your home to make the environment conducive for the person with the impairment. The usual one would be if you had stairs and then you had to reconstruct the stairs to ensure that it is user-friendly for the person using a wheelchair. So you can claim that, and the rails that you install to ensure that they grab on that to move up and down from the house. And even if you are you need to make the bathroom bigger for them to use it, even if you need to lower the cupboards for them to be able to move around and not be independent to someone, not to depend on anyone and do their things by themselves, make themselves food and move around the house, you can claim for that as well. And if you also, let's say your child became wheelchair bound and the school was not compatible, the school that your child is in was not wheelchair bound compatible, and then you decided that you're gonna construct wheelchair bound aids to that school, you can claim for that. But you can also, if the school decides to write you a section 18, which is a donation confirmation, then you either claim on the donations side only. You can only claim on one. You cannot claim on the donation side and also claim on these other expenses that are incurred for your child or the person with impairment. So you can only claim one. So if the school issued the section 18 to confirm the donation receipt from you, then you can claim according to the donation receipt route, not this route that I'm talking about today. But you can still claim either way, but you can only claim once. You won't claim on the donation route as well as on your out-of-pocket expenses. I hope this helps and clarifies what one needs in order to claim for their kids or people with impairment. I hope it helps, and I hope it can reach a lot of people. Please do share to ensure that people do claim for their out-of-pocket expenses, especially for people with impairment. I am Asanda Koboga, signing out.